Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, where today I've got some 10-star village quests to do. So yeah, I don't have too many currently unlocked. There are more to be unlocked, but got a few Elder Dragons, a few multi-monster quests, and one egg delivery. So let's go deliver some eggs. We haven't seen egg delivery on this channel in a good long while. And being that this is egg delivery, let's bring some dash juices. And let's also bring some barrel bombs just in case. Probably not going to need these traps. Let's bring more barrel bombs. There. Hey, Wolven Elf. Forgot to eat, but oh well. Won't be a problem. I actually do need some burned husks, so I'm gonna go grab those. Okay, so there is a large monster on the map. Good to know. I'm pretty sure we are forced to go this direction. But if I take a detour through the cave, I think it gets me a shorter overall path, as well as a shorter path through the northern large desert, which is where the large monster was. So yeah, we are taking a beeline for the cave. I already had dash juice going, cat. Hey, Wolfkinson. Yes, a classic egg quest. Because, hey, they exist. They're part of Monster Hunter history. And this one didn't have a question or a check mark yet. None of them have question marks. That's not how this game works. Kind of want those burned husks, but I am not about to drop my egg to grab them. So I'm guessing the large monster that's going to be here is a cephadrome, but it could also be a crab. Or heck, it could even be a Diablos. Whatever it is. It's not in this area right now. Or at least not above the sand in this area. It's entirely possible that it moved, or that it simply buried itself. But we have safely gotten one egg back to base. The only risk to this egg now is me pressing wrong buttons. And now we've just got one egg left to grab. It's a Devil Joe. The large monster on the map is a Devil Joe. That is altogether not ideal. Made even less ideal by it being here right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually wander over and paint this fella so that we can keep tabs on him. And then I'm going to poop this fella so that he hopefully gets off the path that I have to take. Oh. The fact that they put a rock there implies that we actually could have gone up that path before. Are we not allowed to blow up the rocks in this game? I know in, like, Gen 2 you could. I guess they make their rocks out of tougher stuff now. I saw a ledge, so I was thinking, oh yeah, there's no way we can climb up that with an egg, but then I remembered just now that we can straight up, like, climb vines and stuff with eggs in tow in Gen 4. Otherwise, the Sunken Hollow and Volcanic Hollow delivery quests would be impossible. Would have appreciated that sonic horn in, like, this area with its praise. Because the sonic horn makes small monsters go away. So the pickle is happy to stay where he is, and I don't see anything blocking this cave, which means we can probably take the same path as we did the first time. I just realized that there is no egg shadow. My hunter has a shadow, but the egg he is holding is not present. Also, fun fact, egg quests are easier, in Generation 4 and earlier at least, when playing as a male hunter. Because male hunters actually take longer strides and move a little faster while carrying things. And yes, Wilkinson egg quests are a very different and much more relaxed vibe when compared to EX quests. And oh boy, the pickle is now exactly where we don't... I was gonna say exactly where we don't want him, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it? Still faster to go back to base and then through the well and back to eggs. I was so close to having this quest be done, too. I mean, sure, the pickle might have spotted me carting the egg across the desert, but he would have at least stopped to say hello first. Which would have given me at least some time to try and get to the, base camp. Now, if we're lucky, the pickle would have gone somewhere other than exactly where he just went. Because if I could have taken that path, then we could have avoided the, Genprey Jamboree that I walked through and lost my egg to. Sure, it would have been a longer path overall, but apparently the Genprey Jamboree is a little worse than I would have liked. Okay, so see, Sonic Horn got played, it's making all the Genprey go away. They don't care about me anymore, they are leaving. If only that horn could have been played in a certain other area, this quest would probably be over by now. Okay, we have avoided the pickle. There is almost no chance that we will encounter him on our path back to base at this point. It's just a question of whether the Genprey Jamboree causes problems. Can't believe I've been on this quest for 10 minutes now. This may end up being... well, no, it probably won't. But it could end up being the longest quest we do today. But it probably won't. That'll probably go to a multi-monster quest or one of the quests that's secretly G-rank. Okay. Nobody pounce on me from behind, please. Doing a little bit of zigzagging, just to throw them off my trail, and alright, we're basically home free now. Okay, there's some Cephalos here that could still cause problems, but it's not likely that they will, especially not with how far away they are. So I think we are good. And good we indeed are. Egg delivered. Why, if this was Monster Hunter 4U, and I delivered an egg in the final tier of village questing, I'd probably unlock a Crimson Fatalis. Nice of my cats to also gather burned husks for me. because I do need a bunch of those. Pick quest, then go. Okay, so I've got 4 triple monster quests, 1 double monster quest, and a couple elder dragons at present. Let's go for these winged poisoners. Oh, can I get down into my... No, I can't get into my house while I've got the quest accepted. Need to fix that. Because... having flashes for this quest would actually be helpful. And it's bomb casing day and meat day. I need to get those. And Kelby Horn day. Might as well just get a lot of things that are useful to have. Considering I have plenty of points to spend. Okay, let's get us... I need to actually make the flashes. I got the bomb casings and the flash bugs, but that doesn't mean that I have flashes. There. And this actually doesn't let me make more flashes, but then again, this is high rank, so it's not really going to matter too much anyway. But there. Now we've got many flashes. Still interesting to think that we've got Little Miss Forge in my house there, because why not? But it's looking like she's coming back in Monster Hunter Wilds. The blacksmith lady there, I forget what her name is, but there's so many things that point to her probably being Little Miss Forge. Okay, Rathian's here already. Yeah, the fact that she's wearing the Caravanier's jacket, she's got goggles of a similar style to Little Miss Forge's. She's got the Guildmarm's plushie. Right, Gemma. And I believe in a developer interview they said that, you know, the stuff she wears is, you know, memories of an adventure she had long ago or whatever. There's so many things pointing to her probably being Little Miss Forge. Not to mention the fact that we're being given our mission in Monster Hunter Wilds by someone who looks suspiciously like the Ace Lancer. It's just looking like Monster Hunter Wilds has got a lot of 4U references, if not straight up 4U characters. Then for Sunbreak, we had Manale, who dressed an awful lot like Little Miss Forge and had people saying, oh, she's Little Miss Forge, definitely. Even though her hair color is completely different and all that, but in-game, we were told that Manale studied under a famous blacksmith from a caravan or whatever. So who knows, maybe Manale learned from Gemma, and Gemma is Little Miss Forge herself. Yeah, I would not mind at all if Gemma turned out to actually be a grown Little Miss Forge. Especially since we got Aiden back already. We got mention of Julius. First time we ever learned his name. I do not mind at all if they want to bring back characters from previous Monster Hunter games. I am all for that. Okay, so here's the issue. We need to look for that Gypceros right there. That's the issue. Buddy, if you want to keep trying to spit your poison past me, I am happy to allow you to. There are some games where I don't care about Gypceros flashes. This ain't one of them. And, of course, I'm not allowed to have Demon Ride. How did I get stunned there? Like, I get that stun is a status that can happen, but typically it takes more than one hit. There, no more flashes for you. It's interesting how much smaller this particular area of the jungle got in Sunbreak. I'm gonna blame that poisoning I just took on my cat hitting me out of the wind effect that I was already out of. Another thing that's kind of interesting is how they made the poison have less physics in this game than it had in 4U. Like, the poison Gypceros spits used to flow either directionally or downhill relative to where it landed. But now it just splashes out. no physics whatsoever involved. A game that was... Well, I guess this game was also designed for 3DS, but... A game that was designed for 3DS and had Gypsyros in it had better poison physics than a game that appeared on 3DS later and had Gypsyros in it. It's just interesting. Okay, the Aptonoths are skittish, but that could be because I just fought a Gypsyros here, or it could be because Garuga's nearby. Problem is, there's 3 areas that the Garuga could be. And I don't have Psycho Serums to track it down. Doesn't seem to be here, though. Now the Gypsyros is gone. We know for a fact the Garuga has to be on the map. Question is where? Not here. At this point, it's probably in the cave. Or right here. That's a big Garuga. Either that, or I've been fighting too many Deadeyes. It feels like this Garuga's bigger than the Rathian earlier. Kind of annoying that those hits counted as being on the thin part of the tail and not the tip. But hey, tail's gone. If that bird had decided to go for me instead of my cat, I would have lost that Demon Riot too. Amazing that the tail sweep's still poisoned when there are no barbs whatsoever on the tail itself. Like, we cut off every part that has a barb. Yeah, you're staying here, bud. I don't have paint in this item set. It was an oversight. Made sure to bring so many flashes and used exactly one of them. We can buy more whetstones. It's interesting how much they kept, but how much they had to change in compressing the Gen 2 jungle for Sunbreak. Like, they did add a whole lot. But they also had to remove some things, change some physical relationships. As they did for Flooded Forest and Sandy Plains as well, because... I mean, hey... The Gen 4 and earlier Monster Hunter games, the load screens were abstractions that could have pretty incredible distances between them. But that wouldn't make for good gameplay in Gen 5 with no load screens, so they had to actually compress the distance between zones, which sometimes necessitated the dramatic changing of what was where. It'd be interesting to see how they change certain other areas if they bring them forward eventually. Like, if we ever get Gen 6, because Gen 5 is done now, but if we ever got a Gen 6 version of, say, the Arctic Ridge, like, they'd have to make changes to that for gameplay reasons, right? Wonder how much better they'd be able to make it. Because the Arctic Ridge kind of sucks as is. If nothing else, we'd probably get an actual base camp at the top of the mountain. Which, that alone, would make that map so much more playable. The Aptonoths are concerned. These Aptonoths are also concerned. Which means there's got to be a monster in this nest, but there's probably also one in the, like, northwest area. And Velociprey down. Or Velocidrome down. But also Velociprey down. See, it's dead. Okay, the Aptonoths are still concerned, which means the other monster has probably moved into the adjoining area. Considering Aptonoths only act concerned like this if there is a large monster within one load screen of them. Or if they've been attacked by someone. But I haven't attacked them, so there's our culprit. if I was actually watching my sword juice, I would have had my last slash be a horizontal one, so that I could do a morph slash into axe mode. Can't believe I got comboed and stunned by a dude. Now, I'm pretty sure the Rathalos will have spawned in the nest, which means there's only so many places that he can get to before we get to him. So he should be pretty easy to find. Regardless of the fact that there's no Dragon Seer. Found him. I have to say, like, I've been playing FF14 recently because new expansion and all that. Got my Rathalos in that game as my mount. But just seeing Rathalos compared to Wyverns in a different franchise, like, it really drives home how much of an all-time Wyvern design this is. Like, Rathalos, they struck gold with this creature design right out the gate. And I mean, sure, it's definitely been improved since its original incarnation. Going back and looking at a Gen 1 or 2 Rathalos, they are emaciated and gangly and just plain weird looking. But as they've refined the design over the generations into this, and then the Gen 5 Rathalos, like, yeah, it is an all-time creature design. Just phenomenal Wyvern design. There is a reason they keep putting this boy on boxes. And yeah, technically this is the second Wyvern design they did after Rathian, but saying that they needed a different Wyvern to serve as the face of the franchise is kind of silly, considering that Rathian's the one they put on the logo for Monster Hunter 1. My cat lied when it said no, it didn't lie when it said the shock trap is all set. The shock trap is just elsewhere. Didn't even bother to cut his tail, but I don't need it. Also, hi, Outlander. Now, honestly, a lot of the Gen 1 monster designs still hold up quite well, at least their newer iterations. Some not so much, at least not in terms of looking like really cool and interesting animals, but like even the ones that I don't personally care for aesthetically still accomplish what they were going for. Like, Gypsaros was meant to look goofy. And boy, does it! Outlander Palicos have been on this map since Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Get with the times. Though, admittedly, back then they were called feline comrades, not palicos. And back then their equipment was purely aesthetic. Yeah, Woven Elf Turf Wars are really interesting in World specifically, I would say. I like some of the Turf Wars that are present in Rise, but for the most part, the Rise Turf Wars don't feel like organic interactions between the monsters. Especially with how they have to get in position at the start of each one. But I mean, that's because that game was made for the Switch, so it had some limitations to worry about. But I do sincerely hope that we see more expansion of the Turf War concept to actually show us how these creatures interact with each other just normally. Like in the World style, where their interactions were generally believable, until Iceborne, where we got so many Turf Wars that had monsters not using their key features. Like Brachydios' Turf Wars basically never involve him punching anything because they have to be generalizable to other brute wyverns. Like, I want to see Turf Wars that actually have monsters doing what that monster does. Not Tigrex pretending to be a Barioth. Not Brachy pretending to be any other brute wyvern. Not Glavenus pretending to be any other brute wyvern. I want to see Turf Wars that really push, you know, this is what this monster does in this situation. What I really like about what World showed us with how monsters interact with each other in the world was just seeing how the monsters act when they're not in combat. Because, like, in World, the monsters are, for the most part, generally docile until you've been around them for too long or until you open hostilities. Like, most monsters in World will not attack you right away. Some won't attack you until you attack them. And just getting to see monsters go about their lives doing their general day-to-day stuff, like, yeah, they'll go hunt for food, they'll go just relax for a while, they'll mark their territory. all the things that the monsters just do that makes them seem more like animals and less like video game bosses. That's what I want to see more of in Wild. Because unfortunately, Rise, they mostly went back to being video game bosses. And again, I fully understand why they did it for Rise. It was a game made for the Switch. They could only afford to do so much. They prioritized what they needed to make it a fun game. Rise was not a game about its ecosystem. It was a game about hunting monsters. By the way, Plesioth, another all-time great design visually. In terms of the actual fight, boy did it need work. Thankfully, it got most of that work done in 3U. But then they undid a lot of that work for GU. Also for Gen, but, I mean, I don't feel like I have to specify that because it's in both. Now, if only they'd do the work to make Plesioth better in Monster Hunter Stories. Like, let us put a saddle on it. I don't feel like that bite should have hit me. Like, the teeth were nowhere near me. Imagine a turf war between these two giants. Also, seeing a Plesioth dwarfing a Duramboros. That's definitely a visual. Now, one of the best parts about Sunbreak story-wise is the more you learn about Geismagorm, the sillier it gets. I know there's not much chance that we'll lose this Duramboros, but might as well paint him while we go finish the fish. Yeah, like Geismagorm, the whole lore is it surfaced, well, it surfaces places, making big holes that it then tries to go up to the surface from and cause all sorts of problems with its curio and stuff. But one time it surfaced in the kingdom, or in the citadel, I guess. And Malzeno was like, nuh-uh, no you don't. Primordial Malzeno. And basically just smacked him back down into his hole. And freaking traumatized Geismagorm. To the point where Geismagorm was actually afraid of Malzeno. So, Geismagorm tries to surface somewhere else to avoid Malzeno. Except, oops, it surfaces in the place where Elgato is now. Like, this idiot, this absolute buffoon, tried to surface too close to the ocean and got flooded with seawater. So he had to try again somewhere else many years later. Like, even the first time he met Malzeno, it spooked him out of surfacing altogether for like 80 years. And then the next time he tries to surface, he does it basically in the freaking ocean. And has to wait a good while before trying again. Like, aesthetically and name-wise and the way he controls the Curio and all that, Geismagorm is effectively the devil. But lore-wise, he's just a big dumb idiot who keeps popping up in the wrong place. And he is terrified of Malzeno. Durambros is one of those monsters where I frequently see it turn around and think, oh, hey, it's trying to leave the area. And then remember, wait, no. It's trying to use its primary weapon on me. And I will never get over the fact that Durambros is effectively reverse Uragon. And when it comes to Brute Wyverns, Iceborne's Turf Wars really did them a disservice. Considering how... Wow, what a wonderful final screen we got here. Considering the fact that Brute Wyverns, as a class, tend to have what I would call the greatest differences between members of any of the monster classes. And that explains why the Plesioth dwarfed the Durambros. It was relatively small. Because, like, prior to World, at least, hardly any two Brute Wyverns functioned the same. Like, you've got Durambros, who uses his tail to smash things. Uragon, who uses his chin to smash things and rolls around. You've got Brachii, who punches things. You've got Glavenus, who uses his tail to attack things. You've got Deviljho, who is generic move around and bite stuff guy. You've got Baroth, who's all about the forward charges. Like, they're all completely different in terms of how they fight. Yes, they share some moves, but their primary means of combat is completely different among all of them. And then in World we get Anjanath, who's basically Deviljho but fire. And then we get Fulgur Anjanath, who's Anjanath but lightning. At least he's got a few unique moves in there, but the general concept and how they generally fight isn't all that different. And I mean, sure, it had to happen eventually. They had to eventually get to more generic Brute Wyverns. They couldn't have every Brute Wyvern ever introduced be unique, but... Outlander, I don't know if the OBS update has come through. I've heard that it might have. Like, someone else I follow talked about having an OBS update, but my OBS hasn't said, hey, there's an update available, do you want to grab it? So, haven't had it yet. We've just been getting lucky as far as I'm aware. Yeah, Banbaro is like another evolution of the Baroth concept, basically. But it's different enough that I am absolutely willing to classify it as unique. Okay, who are we hunting in this quest again? Congalala, Nersilla, and Najarala. So nobody in a cave. Except sometimes Congalala, because reasons. But not right now, because Congalala. But yeah, despite all of the Brute Wyverns being so very, very different from one another, Iceborne went and gave them all basically the same exact Turf Wars, with the same exact animations, irrespective of their actual abilities. It just makes them all biters. Which, sure, they gotta generalize from Anjanath if they want to give us more Turf Wars. It's all about giving us as many different Turf Wars as they can for the investment. Which, yeah, I get it. I cannot blame them for giving us such generic Turf Wars with Brute Wyverns, but of all the monster classes to give us generic Turf Wars, the Brute Wyverns are done the greatest disservice. Because, like, yeah, the Pseudo-Wyverns, Barioth and Nargacuga are sure similar, but Tigrex isn't exactly the same as them. Tigrex is not about the speed or agility. Tigrex is about straightforward brute strength. But, like, they already got this one Turf War that works for the other two. Why would they spend the time and money required to give specifically Tigrex a more characteristic turf war. But then, you've got your Glavenus, your Brachy, your Anjanath. They all use entirely different weaponry for their primary mode of attack. And yet their turf wars, they are all biters. How did I get hit? I was nowhere near his face. Alright, Congalala down. That looks like a pretty big Nerscylla, or maybe this is just a small Congalala, but... I'm pretty sure that's a big Nerscylla. And I know I'm not carving the Congalala, but... I can now. I almost got all three. Again, I almost got all three. So apparently this is a shrouded Nerscylla. Judging by how it swung off of nothing. But then again, in this game, all the Nargacugas are just green Nargacugas dipped in ink, so... I guess it makes sense for this to just be a shrouded Nerscylla dyed purple wearing Gypsaros instead of Kezu. And rip Demon Riot. And no more spiders. Yeah, if you compare, like, different Leviathans to one another, there's a lot of similarities between them that you don't see for the Brute Wyverns. Compare Bird Wyverns to one another, like, compare anything from the first 3 gens to one another, and you'll find similarities abound. But Brute Wyverns are different. And I love them for that. Like, each Brute Wyvern is its own creature that works in its own way. Sure, they share a body plan. But how they use that body is very different. And then if you compare snake wyverns to each other, why, they're completely different as well. Like, on the one hand, you've got Najarala, who is Najarala. But then on the other hand, you've got Remobra, who's a completely different monster. Why, it even flies! So for it to have dug there, I'm guessing it went into the cave. Chances of a brand new skeleton in wilds. I'd say they're fairly low. Okay, it didn't go into this cave, that's for sure. Like, it's always possible. Technically, World gave us some new skeletons. Like the Great Jagras skeleton, that was new, and it used it a lot. But I mean, beyond there, like, well, just because of that, we already can say that, like, there's no telling if we'll get a new skeleton or not. Actually, Chatacabra might already be a new skeleton. Who knows? It certainly doesn't move like pre-existing amphibians. Okay, where in the heck has this snake gone? Yeah, if anything, I'd say Chatacabra actually moves more like Rajang, so who knows, maybe it's on the same skeleton as Rajang, as opposed to a new skeleton, but still. Goodbye, Demon Riot. I'll miss you. There's the stupid snake. Yeah, I already know what my primary and secondary weapons are gonna be in Wilds. Very easy choice for me. Primary is Switch Axe, secondary is Hammer. Just easy. Easy peasy. They're my two favorite weapons. They give me access to cut and impact. If they bring Baroth back, I'll be ready. I have to say, fingers as crossed as they can possibly be that they bring back Rapid Morph. Even if they nerf it, just bring back Rapid Morph. Rapid Morph Switch Axe and Sunbreak feels so good. Ahoy there, Hunter. You look pleased with yourself today. Did you nab a rare plate or something? Well, I hope the prospect of new quests brightens your day, because you're getting them whether you like it or not. Okay, so we've done some sub-keys, I guess. Ah. Okay, I had thought it was interesting that I didn't really have hyper monsters yet, but, now we do. Also, hey, I know this quest. I know this exact quest with this exact name from this exact locale. It's a Poke quest titled Monster Hunter with the Rathalos, Tigrex, Nargacuga, and Rajang. Sounds familiar. I know this quest too, but instead of having them be hyper, they were subspecies. And instead of being from Kokodo, it was from Moga. Why, I know this quest as well. But again, instead of a hyper Zinogre, pretty sure it was Stygian. Or maybe it was just regular. No, it was... Was it Apex Zinogre? Or was it just Frenzied Zinogre? Either way, it wasn't hyper. This one is less familiar. I don't know that I've done a quest featuring those 3 monsters in a previous game. And then there's this quest, which is this quest. But Hyper Monsters gotta wait, because I don't like doing Hyper Monster quests, honestly. They overstay their welcome. Probably already got an item set that's pretty much exactly this. But I don't feel like going to look for it right now, so we're just making it on the fly. And off we go for some Rare Wrath. I wasn't paying attention to what map it was on, and I was not expecting this one. I was fully expecting it to be in the tower. Or the Forlorn Arena, as it were. And Gold Rathian typically starts right through there. So I imagine that's where she's going to be. Yep. I wasn't paying attention. Was this an advanced quest? Yeah, it is. Which means it's probably secretly G rank. Of course, we'll find out soon enough whether or not it is. Sorry for blinding you, Kelby, but I had my eye on a bigger prize. I really prefer having my Rathians be on the smaller side so that I can more easily get at their tails. Oh, boyfriend's here. Let's pretend we're in the Forlorn Arena. And deal with them together. Wish I didn't waste that entire flash. Dang it. That was actually a mount hit, and not a not mount hit. We might have actually gotten to ride her. One thing I can say, not using my dung here is making this significantly more difficult to deal with. There we go. That at least gets us some time to not have to worry about both of them being constantly on me. I just dodged through that fireball. I fully expected to take a hit there. Oh, he's piecing out. I'm cool with that. And it looks like she's leaving too. Hopefully to a different place. Alright, we got a shard. That confirms this is in fact secretly G rank. And they went to the same place, because of course they did. At least it's a larger zone. A lot more room to work with here. Okay, she's in the trap. That's good. We had enough time to work on her tail. I appreciate that. She does not like me going for her husband's tail. Flash was worthless. This one less so. I know I'm supposed to be working on her right now to make this quest go faster and easier. But when one of them's knocked down and the other is blind, it would be a huge waste of an opportunity to not go for the downed one. It's free hits. Just gonna mash out instead of using dung, because using dung would encourage them to separate, and that would make this quest too much easier. Yeah, fine, I know I was being greedy going for that sparkly, but still! They say greed is good. Of course, they are dead wrong. Greed gets you tail flipped. Alright, at least my cats had me covered for the poisoning. Is that sparkly still there? No, it's gone. Okay, with both of them blind, we are free to go for the lady. Yeah, I got caught shooting there. There was not much I could have done. Interesting that that wasn't an auto stun. Usually Rathalos doing his Sky Claw is an auto stun. Looks like a cat just broke her other wing. I was out of stamina! Let's go ahead and let's get a little health. There we go. Took Big Boy 3 claws to stun me. I guess the Wrath's foot venom has been getting weaker over the generations. Big boy's out. Nice flinch. Kept me from taking a tail. And lady's out. Uh-oh. Paintball wore off. Looks like she's going to join him, though. Gonna go ahead and sharpen here, just so that I don't have to do it mid-combat later. And yep, they are palling around. She is tired. Oops. She is not tired, or is she? Yeah, she's not tired anymore. I know he's down and she's blind, but I was closer to her. And now she's down and they're both blind. See, it worked out. Now he's tired. Stupid tail. I guess her mount tolerance is higher than I expected. There it is. Thought it'd only take like 3 hits, but it took 5. Unfortunately, he is not going to leave me alone during this, especially because my cats are both gone. Well, one fact. Alright, got them both knocked down with a flash. I know I've got both my arts ready, but it's hard to find a time to actually use them when I've got both of these things here breathing down my neck. Because, like, most of the time when I would have the actual guaranteed time to actually turn on Demon Riot, I'd probably be better off spending that time just attacking them, because the times where I actually know I've got the ability to get Demon Riot up are the times when they're both preoccupied, either with blindness or being knocked down or what have you. But either way, those are times where I have an opening to actually do damage and not just apply Demon Riot. But we've been working on the lady, and since she has decided to move off on her own. Fortunately, she moved somewhere that we couldn't just go with one load screen. But we can get over there. And they're together again. Because of course they are. Didn't mean to actually leave the area, but you know what? I'll take advantage of that. Leave it. Seems awfully early for her to leave, but okay. I will follow. Glad we don't let go of the wall when we run out of stamina. Classic practice of use one as a shield while you sharpen. The face is a terrible hit zone, but I do kind of want to break. Hey, at least I got my energy charge off. And she's down. Alright. That makes this quest dramatically easier. Even though I only have 2 flashes left to use on him. But let's go ahead and just try and convince him to leave so that we can carve in peace. Looks like he's in it for the long haul, though. As long as he's focused on the cats, we're fine. And hey, he's leaving now. Alright, buddy, where are you going? It hasn't been too long since we last painted him, but I'm gonna repaint him just to be safe. Of course he was in the process of landing and therefore counted as already on the floor. Oh, he's tired. And the tail is mine. Again, I'm aware it's a terrible hit zone, I just kind of want the break. And he is leaving to go hunt, I assume. Not often that you get to see a rare wrath hunting, so... Well, I guess he's not doing a very good job of it anyway. All these free Aptonoths here, and he just lands and doesn't try and hunt any of them? Was not actually trying to go through my inventory there, I was just mashing buttons. Including L and ZL and R and ZR. I don't know if those actually help, but it felt like maybe they did. Probably a bad idea to do this right now. And indeed it was. If I had a couple more frames, I would have got it off, but I did not have a couple more frames. Hey, we got the face break. Yep, we have 0 flashes left. Out of there before we get fireballed. What wouldn't surprise me? If this boy was cap ready by now. Like, he's got his face broken, his tail cut, both wings busted. He's been around for a good long while. Just need him to behave and get in the trap instead of continuing to ruin my day. Yeah, like that. Okay, not quite yet. I tried to offer you the easy way out, buddy. Peacing out. Bet he's cap ready now. And of course he goes somewhere that I have to take multiple load screens to follow. Three load screens no matter which direction I went. Now, if this was a Gen 5 game, there'd be a base camp right near there. Like, probably the shortcut where we have to crawl into a hole and then we fall down a long ways. There would probably be a base camp through that hole before the drop. I need you to stay right there, buddy. Right there. He didn't stay right there. Come at me, bro. Not you. Okay, still too early. I was just thinking, because it felt like he left that last area pretty quick. He might have been cap ready, but oh well. This guy will go uncapped. Which, rewards-wise, is probably better, because I don't really need a Rathalos mantle. I would rather have Silver Rathalos stuff. Hey, I think he's cap ready. Oh. And of course, he's going somewhere that, yet again, I have to use 3 load screens to follow. I think I'm probably angled too far to the right. Yeah. And that was too far to the left. Buddy, I just rolled that fire off. Let me tell you, I am really thankful that Monster Hunter is not one of those franchises where you use your stamina for, like, all weapon attacks. The fact that I can do most of my combos, or most of my moves in general, without using stamina. Really comfy. Compared to, say, FromSoft games, where your stamina is your resource bar for both evasion and offense. I mean, sure, there are some weapons where it is the case that it's that. Bow comes to mind immediately, dual blades, at least in demon mode. But the fact that I can be swinging my switch axe and recovering stamina is nice. I appreciate it. It would kind of suck if I couldn't do that. And it turns out, choosing not to use dung bombs on that quest makes it considerably harder. Okay, so now it is time for a couple of Elder Dragons. Because we're doing them before we go on to any hyper monsters. And the fact that we've got so many hyper monster quests tells me that we are not, in fact, going to finish collecting checkmarks today. And also, before I depart for this Kushala, I need to use the restroom, so I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Time to go fight this steel dragon doohickey in the jungle. This is not where I would have expected Kushala to start, but okay. This is another area that got dramatically reduced in size for Sunbreak. Also, now I wish Espinas were in this game. Sunbreak Espinas was a really good fight. I liked it. Also, Espinas is one of the few frontier monsters that I actually appreciate aesthetically. Which, I mean, it makes sense because it's one of the few frontier monsters that the main series team had a hand in helping to design. One of the flashes had to work. Hypnoctris, Lavathia, and Espinas were all basically jointly designed between main series and frontier teams. This is one noisy boy! The blur filter that this giant tornado puts on everything is pretty intense. Hey there, guard. Yes, indeed, we've got a Kushala here. But it's okay, because Cammy's in the next quest I'm gonna do. Curse you, giant tornado. Yeah, Outlander Kushala has not missed a game since the entirety of Gen 3. The Gen 3 games are the only games Kushala has missed. And that right there is flagship privilege. Specifically, it's numbered non-expanded entry flagship privilege. A privilege that extends to most flagships from the initial release of a generation. But I have to say most because laggy exists. But that is a result of the whole, you know, laggy is kind of an underwater monster primarily deal. Yeah, Rathalos ain't allowed to miss games. Kushala doesn't miss a lot of games. I guess Gore has missed a few games, so really that privilege only extends to Rathalos and Kushala, huh? Nergigante has missed games already. Seregios has missed games, but he's not from a base numbered one. Yeah, I guess it is, in fact, just Rathalos and Kushala, though Tigrex misses surprisingly few games, despite being from not the first game of his series. Nargacuga has not missed all that many. So yeah, I guess the privilege only really applies to early gen monsters. In much the same way as Kanto Pokemon have privilege. Like, Game Freak can say all they want that they don't have a favorite son. But we all know it's Charizard. Oh, this isn't good. Thankfully, I was not punished. Actually, Outlander, Psyduck gets love from Game Freak, specifically in the fact that I believe it's Masuda's favorite Pokemon, period. You'll note that Psyduck does not miss games. Or maybe it was Ishihara. One of the higher-ups at Game Freak, who is responsible for directing many games, I believe, has gone on record saying that Psyduck is their favorite Pokemon. And in fact, they wanted Psyduck to be the series mascot, but were told no, it has to be something cuter, or something like that. But yeah, Slowpoke gets a lot of love for reasons, I guess. Not really that much, though. Like, sure, we've got Slowpoke and Slowbro and Slowking, and then the Galarian ones. But that's it. Whereas Charizard... Why, Charizard got 2 Mega Evolutions, got a Gigantamax, has been available in every game, was the first classic starter to be brought back for Scarlet and Violet. Like, Charizard is their favorite son. They just can't help but make more Charizards. Guard Clefairy was what they had for the manga, but it could have been another potential for the mascot for the whole franchise, but there was in fact someone who pushed for it to be Psyduck. But Psyduck it wasn't allowed to because it wasn't cute enough or whatever. Clefairy was cute enough, but they thought it looked like not right or something. I don't know what it was, but we eventually got Pikachu, but Psyduck and Clefairy were the 2 alternatives that it could have been. And now just imagine if it had been Psyduck and we'd be getting a Psyduck clone every game. Instead of just Ducklet. There we go. That's what I've been waiting for, that horn break. It was a little too high up. I'm still surprised that we didn't get a freaking Paldean Meow after having gotten both Alolan and Galarian. But I guess they still gave us regular Meowth and Galarian Meowth in Paldea. I think the real test is going to be seeing which Pokemon Game Freak chooses for the first convergent species among Charmander, Pikachu. Well, I guess Pikachu, they've already got a ton of those. Charmander, Psyduck, Clefairy. One of them is eventually going to get a convergent species. We all know this. It's just a matter of which. I'm honestly surprised that Psyduck hasn't gotten a regional form that's actually Psychic type. But then again, the whole Psyduck thing is specifically the English version. Its Japanese name is just Kodaku, which is just, you know, small duck, duckling. There is no psychic connotation to its Japanese name, but that is only added in the English version, and it gives many players of English language Pokemon games the wrong impression that it is in fact a psychic type. I mean, at least Venomoth, yeah, you could make a case for it being a Psychic type. It does learn Psychic moves, but its types match its name perfectly. Also, Guard, I don't believe these advanced quests rotate at all. Wait, why did I do that? I was thinking like, oh, I gotta get defense with fire res for Teo's supernova. This is Chameleos. Could get insurance with my attack large, but I'm not gonna cart. Does Groomer speed up poison recovery? Maybe. Let's just go for it. And now it's Cammy time. Oh, well, Guard, if they do cycle, then I guess they just don't cycle until you've done them. And yeah, thinking on it, I believe the Teo quest has not been there on occasion. Yeah, I don't believe I had to worry about the Cammy quest not being available until I did it the first time. Which, hey, I'm doing that. Really? Right for the life powder? What a jerk. I miss this Chameleos theme. Rise's Chameleos theme is nowhere near as good. It's a long knockdown for just the jump status. Also, let me just say how much I appreciate that we get to hear this theme for the entire duration of the fight against Chameleos in this game. Unlike in Gen 2, where you only get to hear it when it's enraged. Still interests me how we learned in a previous stream. Really, the herbal meds now? We learned in a previous stream that this fog effect is actually just a sphere around your hunter. Because I got some kind of graphical bug that made it actually visible as such. Like, at first, I would have sworn that it's just they pasted a filter over the screen, or pasted a texture, like, between the camera and everything else. Like, right on the camera. They just slap a texture there, call it good. But no, they put a sphere around your hunter and textured it with that. Which makes it substantially more interesting. The fact that they went to that extra effort to not just do a single texture. Okay, I didn't expect to end up area transitioning by attacking there, but okay. I have so much junk in my inventory right now that I wouldn't mind him stealing, and yet he's only been stealing useful stuff. Like, take the hot and cool drinks, please. Jerk going 2 load screens away. No way am I gonna get to keep this Demon Riot. A little unsafe to be back here, but not the worst. If this was a different Monster Hunter game, I would have been able to dodge to the side out of that instead of forward still into it with the same inputs that I did. But alas, this was before we were given more freedom with our dodges mid-combo. Of course he pulls it past himself. I guess he likes his big poison clouds so much he just wanted two of them on top of each other? Again with the life powder. And again with the Mega Potion. Stop stealing the useful stuff. Guard, please don't tell this Chameleos that I have max potions. Oh, great. It's not. Are we back? Hang on a sec. Gonna leave it paused for just a moment because I also got some notification noises that I need to check, and they're not anything. So yeah, it was just OBS actually disconnecting, not the whole bug with AV1 encoder thing. It was straight up just disconnect, complete with notification noises and everything. I have to wonder whether or not you guys saw the fun bug with the fog sphere again. Because when I loaded into the area, the fog sphere was not on my person. It was in fact rooted to a spot on the ground, well, actually underground, a little bit below where I'm standing right now. But it has a higher layer than anything else, so it is visible through the floor. It was interesting, and it was like that for a couple seconds before it went back onto me. Yeah, it made it very, very clear how they handle the Chameleos fog effect. And it's a shame that OBS had to ruin it and make it so that it didn't show up. I wonder, if I leave the area and come back, can I get it to happen again? Nope. Well, actually, kind of yes. We can see another fog sphere over there. But it's gone now. Rings are too solid. Looking to see if we could see another displaced fog sphere. So unless this unlocks additional quests, which it could, then all we're gonna have left is hyper monsters. Oh boy, hyper monsters. And looks like probably no additional quests unlocked by that. So, hyper monsters. We might as well do the big one. So this will probably be the last hunt of the day, because it's a big one. They go a little faster with the demon drugs. Bringing stuff to make more flashes because why not? And the traps can still be used here, so might as well keep them. Sure, my flash bomb combo rate won't be 100%, but it'll be enough. Should have gotten rid of my paintballs. Those aren't going to be much use here. Oh, how different it feels to be facing an actually reasonably sized Glavenus instead of freaking Gold Large Hellblade EX. I wish I was on the other side of him, but oh well. There we go. Always feels wrong to not go for a Glavenus tail. At least when the Glavenus isn't freaking enormous and thus has a near unreachable tail. It's also nice that it's so much easier to get Glavenus tails in this game than it is in Iceborne. For one, Glavenus in this game is more willing to actually heat up his tail. And it stays hot longer. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest time to try that. But at least there's one thing you can say for hyper monsters, and it's that they let you recharge your arts real quick. Especially when they've got their hyper part as the soft bit. That was closer than I would have liked. I don't feel like that should have hit me. His pin is much more intimidating when he's got his Bursa heated up. Here I was thinking I might be able to get a mount. Nice pallium. Well, if we do every monster in this quest in the same amount of time, then I will finish with an extra 15 minutes left on the clock. So that would put us at the 35-minute mark at the end of the quest, if they all take 7 minutes. I don't think they're all going to take 7 minutes. I think probably Valstrax will take potentially longer than 7. But then again, it's not a Hyper Valstrax, because there is no such thing. So who knows, maybe the Valstrax will be faster than the Glav. Mizutsune might take longer than Glav. Moves around more. Gammoth might take longer than Glab, just because she's got way more HP. OBS, you need to quit this. You cannot just disconnect and reconnect like that, OBS. You can't. Don't do it. But we should be back now. Can't believe I had 2 OBS disconnects in one stream. Usually I go months between having any of those. And once again, this G-Rank Astalos is requesting to be flashed. And far be it from me to refuse to grant his wish. Okay, buddy, can you leave me alone for just a second? Like, there's 2 other targets here. But no, this Astalos doesn't believe in other targets. And as a result, I lost my Demon Riot. Wasn't able to grant his request in time there. For being blind, he sure did seem to know exactly where I was coming from. Why does this Astalos have my number? Why does this Astalos have my number? Also, why does the kitty cart drop us so far away from the ledge? That's what I've been going for a while. Discharge the wings, knock the Astalos. Oh, and it's dead. Just gonna try and use the knockdown to try and get the tail. But I have been denied that opportunity. Can't believe I carded so close to having the Asklos down. Might as well sharpen again, just to make sure that I don't run out early on like I did for the Asklos itself. And next, I believe, comes Mizutsune. I believe correctly. Welcome back, guard. We've got Glavinus and Asklos down, and I am one cart down. Because the Asklos had my freaking number. It's interesting how much steadier on its feet Mizutsune is in this game than it is in Rise. Because let's be honest, if I was fighting a Rise Mizutsune, I probably would have gotten like 3 knockdowns by now. Intentionally took the laser just to get rid of my Bubble Blight. Makes 3 times in one stream that OBS has disconnected. What gives? Again, I usually go months between getting any disconnects, and even then it's usually like 1 per stream tops. But I've gotten 3 in this one stream. It needs to stop. Was not trying to use a Mega Potion, but I guess I needed it, judging by my current health. Was trying to put my weapon away, and I guess my habit of mashing the button, coupled with a quick put away thanks to going down the ledge, to make me also drink the Mega Potion. And down he goes. So now I'm going to need to make a decision with regards to this energy charge and demon riot. I think my decision is preserve the demon riot in hopes that I can get it to last just long enough to get another energy charge from the Gammoth. She should spawn around here. Go away, Mizutsune. We are on the clock here for my demon riot. Go away. There you go. Okay, I was close. And preserving the demon riot was, in fact, the correct choice. Alright, got all 3 breaks that occur off of her legs. Face, trunk, well, yeah, face, trunk, and tusks. Got them all. So she smashes her snow off, and then the very next thing she does is get her snow back. If you want your snow that badly, don't get it off in the first place. I was not aware that her sit could cause snowman. Oh, she's pinned my cat. Gammoth's pin is an attack that you don't actually see all that often. And she's pinned my cat again, but different cat this time, I think. Alright, we broke a foot before she could re-snow it. And she is down. That was quick. She may have a lot of HP, but she is a very slow hitbox, and I can't get energy charge back in time. We are absolutely losing Demon Riot before Valstrax. That's a shame. Nice Pallium, though. Okay, herbal meds we don't need. I shouldn't have brought them in the first place. I don't need no rare 6 Gammoth Pelt. I'm gonna miss you, Demon Riot. And of course, Valstrax shows up the instant Demon Riot goes away. Wait, no, it's fine. I was about to be like, oh, I got rid of my nullberries that they gave me in the box earlier. Now I can't get rid of Dragon Blight. I don't have any element. It doesn't matter if I don't get rid of Dragon Blight. What matters is that I get far enough away from this guy to actually heal. Is that the back break? Looks like it. Arguably the most important break in terms of number of Valstrax parts you need to make Valstrax stuff. That is such a big sweep. Dang, the arm breaks don't come with a knockdown in this game? Thanks for putting your face in that. Okay, that arm break came with a knockdown. And the only breaks we haven't gotten are the wings, and we're not going to get them. Doubt this guy even has enough health for us to get them. I want to sharpen, but I also want to try and finish this energy charge so I can keep my Demon Riot. And that ambush might just cost us this Demon Riot. Nah, we're good. Might as well try for a wing break. Hey, we got one. That's right, the wings break way easier on regular Valstrax than on Crimson Glow. Didn't see him, but thankfully I heard him. And looks like that ambush actually did cost us Demon Riot. Might have been able to get energy charge back in time if he hadn't ambushed. That was close. Shame it's the wrong side down for me to be able to get the other wing. I'm getting the feeling that this Valstrax doesn't actually have multi-monster quest health. I'm also getting the feeling that that stab has too wide of a hitbox. Like, I know I got hit directly by the part itself, but like, I keep getting hit by it despite rolling. I need a fade extender, that's what I need. This armor set was not specifically made with switch axe in mind. It was actually made with longsword in mind. Any fade extender is real good for switch axe. At least he's been kind enough to give me 2 inhales. Also, hey, you know how I said that if everyone went about the same speed as Glavenus, then we'd finish with 35 minutes done, 15 on the clock? Apparently that estimate was off by 4 seconds. Made 4 monsters ago. Looks like we got another Glav Pallium. Yep. And with that, I'm going to call this a stream, hopefully before OBS can decide to disconnect again. But thanks, folks, for dropping by to watch and chat and all of that, and I will be back tomorrow to probably finish out the village quests in this game. See you then, friends.